it's your girl, Mika Chanel, back with another edition of Mika Chanel is Just Saying. Look, I got rained on like 2 days in a row, and my little wig is just too through, so I think I'm going to have to retire this one. But it was so cute. I love this wig. Anyway, I just realized how... Anyways, so tonight we're talking about the real... Now that I'm done with my hair. So we're talking about the Real Housewives of New York City, season number 7, episode number 15, okay? So I was actually in New York on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday because I had to go out there for work or whatever for a couple of meetings. And so I was trying my best to watch the episode, right? And in the hotel. So I started off watching the episode because it comes on, you know, the time difference between, you know what I'm saying, Chicago and New York. And they're an hour ahead of us, so I lost that hour, you know what I'm saying? And then, like, with traveling and everything, so I ended up falling asleep on the episode Tuesday night. But I just really wanted to, like, watch the episode, and I thought it would have been so neat for me to blog about the episode being in New York, right? Wrong, I fell asleep. I was so tired, and then the hotel I was in had buy one, get one free wine, so I was done for by, like, 8:30 anyway. But, and then, like, with the time difference with me losing that hour, I was just out of it. So, anyway, so here I am tonight at home in Chicago doing a vlog. Anyway, so, like I said, episode number 15, it opens up the same way that episode number 14 goes off at the dang FU dinner. Dorinda, you know, she gets up, she storms off, she goes, you know what I'm saying, walks away. Heather follows her, is trying to, you know what I'm saying, console her and get her to calm down a little bit, and probably trying to figure out what the hell happened, because, like, nobody knows, right? Nobody knows what happened. I mean, I don't know why she got so emotional. Heather doesn't know why she got so emotional. Dorinda probably doesn't even know why she got so emotional. You know what I'm saying? Like, in her like confessional or whatever they call it, she was like, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, you know, she pushed my buttons, and, you know, she was like, you know what I'm saying? I had been drinking since like that morning or whatever, and I had a few, you know what I'm saying, cocktails at that particular dinner. So, you know, like I said in my last vlog, we gonna blame that on the goose, because Dorinda was tripping, okay? Anyways, I mean, I just honestly don't know what happened, but by the end of the dinner, Heather and Dorinda made up. So then everybody's like, let's do, and Dorinda's like, I want to go out dance. No, I think Heather said it's time to go or something. And Dorinda's like, I want to go out dancing. So all the ladies except for Heather and Carol, of course, because whatever Heather does, Carol does, right? So all the ladies except Heather and Carol go out for a night on the town. We don't actually see them out. What we see is the morning after. I guess like Heather wakes up, and for some reason she decides to walk into the other room, because there's like I think each bedroom is like separated by a bathroom, so it's like suite style or whatever. And so I guess, like, I don't know why Heather would even go into that room, maybe to look at out the window and look at the view. But I guess she walks through the bathroom and goes into the other room that would have been Bethany's room if she had stayed for the second part of the trip. And she sees a naked man in the bed, and she goes off, like, she snaps. It is like the world is coming to an end, because Heather saw a naked stranger in the bedroom next to her. She kept saying in my room, but it was not her room. I really wish you understand it. It was not her room. Her room was on the other side of the bathroom where you can lock the door, you know what I'm saying? Because where I went away to school, those are the kind of rooms that we had at SIU. So, like, you know what I'm saying? You just lock the door. Nobody can come through the bathroom if you lock your bedroom door. And I mean, if you're staying in a hotel, or, like, you know what I'm saying, you're out of town with, you know what I'm saying, a bunch of people, don't you lock the door anyway? Like, I don't normally do when I'm at home alone, you know what I'm saying, just my family. But if I go out of town, you know what I mean, and I want my own privacy, so I'm gonna lock the door. Like, but anyways, off of that. So Heather just like snaps out. Then she gets Carol all riled up. Carol, I don't even think Carol would have been that upset about it had Heather not been so upset about it, you know what I mean? And then, like, they just, like, storm down the stairs. They see Dorinda first, so they are, like, going after Dorinda, like, what happened? Who brought the man home? What happened last night? Dorinda's like, what? I don't even know what's going on. Look, I need coffee And it's just too damn early in the morning. I'm hungover. Just because y'all little bitter bitches went home and, you know what I'm saying, went back to the hotel and didn't want to hang out. Look, we enjoyed our last night. I don't know anything about a naked man upstairs. What I do know is that y'all are acting crazy right now. You know what I mean? That's like the look. Dorinda's like looking like, what is going on? You know what I mean? So anyway, so then they storm. I guess they're assuming that it's Sonia. I think that they thought originally that it was Sonia's guy or whatever. So they storm into Sonia and Ramona's room. Sonia's like laying in the bed. Ramona's like asleep. Sonia's still laying in the bed. They like burst into the room and just start going off. You know what I mean? And Ramona's like, that was Luann's friends, the guy that Luann brought home, that was his friend or whatever. And she's like, well, who was he with? You know what I mean? So Ramona, instead of being a woman and taking responsibility and saying he was with me, she was like, you need to go talk to Luann. Really, Ramona? Okay. So then the next thing Carol and Heather do is go storming into Luann's room. And Luann is like, look like she was like knocked out, like knocked out asleep. So I can only imagine, like, you know, you're waking up to two angry menopausal women standing over you, jealous because they ain't getting none. You know what I mean? Like, so she wakes up and they're just like, oh my God, you guys have this man in the room. And Luann is like, what are you talking about? Like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, she just, like, Heather is just like going on and on and on. And I feel like it's a bit ridiculous, right? So they, you know what I'm saying, a couple minutes pass, I guess, I don't know, Luann got her berries or whatever, so they all go down into the kitchen. Luann comes out, and she's just like, why are you, Heather, why are you acting like this? And Heather's like, wouldn't you be upset? She's like, Heather is like crying at this point. Wouldn't you be upset if you woke up and there was a naked man in your room and you don't even know it? And Luann's like, no, not really. And honestly, I'm sitting here like, I was like trying to decide if I would have been upset in that situation, and I don't think I would either. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm with Luann because it wasn't like it was like one big community room. Everybody had their own bedrooms, and this guy was in a different bedroom than Heather was in, like a completely different room. So I just didn't understand why she was so upset. I mean, it's like what, 7 ladies on vacation. Half of the ladies are single. You know, they like to mingle. You know what I mean? They went out, they had fun, and then they brought up, like Heather brought up, like, oh, and then you guys are like, had the music blasting at like 3 in the morning or whatever. So at the end of the day, I just feel like Heather is so fucking uptight. She needs to loosen up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like if something is not right at home, if she's just not happy, if she's just not getting any good sex, like, I don't know, but she is just like a miserable, she's just always just like a miserable ass person that comes across as a happy person. That's, you know, she just seems so miserable to me, like all the time. She's always telling people what to do, how to do it. She wants to boss people around, and just like Kristen told her last season, I think it was last season, was like, you know what I'm saying, you boss your husband around, you do this, you do that. I don't know, it might not even been Kristen, it might have been I don't know, Ramona. Somebody told her that. I'm almost positive, though, it was Kristen that told her that or whatever. She's just like a freaking stick in the mud. And then Carol just follows up and does whatever Heather does, or, you know, agrees with whatever, you know what I'm saying, Heather agrees with. I mean, Carol, I just think Carol may have still had a grudge on Ramona from the dang on when they went to that Comp Shack restaurant, and Ramona kind of like swooped in and kind of took the owner's attention away from Carol. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It was just all kind of silly to me. But the funniest line ever was Luann. She had her like sunglasses on and her bikini or whatever, and she's like, "Be cool. Don't be all like uncool." Line. Like, they had showed that in some of the promo clips, and I was like waiting to see the context behind why she had said that. Like, I'm sorry, that was the funniest thing in the world. That was, to me, that was funny. Followed by Sonia saying that Ramona's green, and she's green to the game, so she doesn't know that if you bring a man home, you need to either stay with that man and like keep him by your side, or make sure that he leaves when you're done doing whatever it is y'all are doing. You know what I mean? That was kind of funny too. She was like, but Ramona's green to the game, okay? Here's the thing. she didn't want to admit that she had a man over because she's a little embarrassed. And then Heather's going on and on. So, you know, she'll learn. She will learn. The next girl's trip, you will not see Ramona's man anywhere around. I don't know. It was just kind of funny. And then here comes Kristen, old ass. She is such a freaking, I mean, it's no wonder why she hangs around Heather and she gets along with Heather. She's a freaking stick in the mud too. She comes in and she's just like, yeah, I just talked to whoever the guy's name is. I can't think of his name right now, but he was like their house manager there. She's like, yeah, I talked to him, and he's like, yeah, I tried to get the guys not to come in, and then one of the guys was married, and they were just being like, they were just so like, you know what I'm saying, being obscene, they were just drunk, or whatever. And I'm like, really, Kristen? Who even asked you to go out there and talk to the house manager? Like, nobody asked you to do that. Why is it any of your business? You know what I mean? Worry about your own man, okay? That's what you need to do. Anyways, so yeah, so that was kind of it. And that was the end of the trip, you know what I'm saying? And Carol's like, yeah, well, finding a naked man in the room and you weren't expecting it means it's time to go or whatever. Carol, I think you're a little jelly. I think you're a little jealous. I think Heather's a little jealous because she doesn't know how to have fun. Heather, loosen up. You need to have some fun, okay, girl? Have some fun. Anyway, so we're going to move on. Kristen is having, like, a couple of things happen in between this and Kristen's party, but nothing really I want to talk about. So Kristen is having a jean decorating party at someone's house. I think it's a friend of Heather's house. And so all the ladies come. It's for a charity, and I think the charity is called Smile Pretty or Pretty Smile or something like that. And it's for kids, you know, that are born with like a cleft lip. And that they need surgery or whatever. And the surgery, I didn't realize the surgery was so inexpensive. She said the surgery was like $300 or something. I thought the surgery would have been a lot more than that. But it's good that she's getting involved in it. And yeah, so the ladies were coming and they were gonna like bedazzle these yummy jeans, the ones that Heather makes, and then auction them off for, you know, for cash for the charity. So I thought that was a really cute idea. I'm not really that creative. I don't like doing all that kind of stuff. But hey, I thought it was a cute idea. But, oh, let me, before I move on to the fight, did Dorinda take the man's coasters? Is that what she said? She took the man's coasters off the table and sold them onto the jeans. And she's like, I thought they were decorations. Anyways, I don't know why I thought that was funny, but that was funny. Anyway, so yeah, so Bethany is upset with Kristen because Kristen said something about her in the tabloids, something that Bethany took and perceived to be negative, which everybody, I think, took it as a negative. Even Kristen herself took it as a negative, but in the beginning, she wanted to kind of defend what she said, but she even had to admit that it did come across a little negative or whatever. So her and Bethany like have this back and forth, and Bethany's like, you know what? Don't talk about me into the press. Especially if you want to be my friend. And then Kristen's like, well, who said I wanted to be your friend at this point? That took Bethany a little by surprise that Kristen said that. So they go off into another room and they talk and they get it all out. And finally Bethany's like, I'm over it. It's done. So they move on. It doesn't turn into like a big thing. So I was really happy about that. But then then Luann, she's just sitting there. She's still steaming about what happened in Turks and Caicos with the whole naked man gate or whatever. So she's like, I can't take it anymore. I can't sit here anymore and pretend like I'm not upset. I have to talk to Heather. So her and Heather go off and they talk. It's basically the same conversation that they had. Like, you know what I'm saying? Luann felt like they were disrespectful for bursting into her room. Heather's like, she's like, I didn't burst into your room. I don't know. And then Heather's like, well, let's get Carol over here. And then Luann is like, yeah, get her over here, your little puppeteer. I think she had the word wrong. I think she meant her puppet. Because the puppeteer, right, is the person that actually holds the strings. And that's Heather. I think she meant her puppet. Because that's how Carol acts. And then she barely even talks. It's like, come on, do you have an opinion outside of your interviews, Carol? Because, like, Luann is, like, telling her, like, you told me, you apologized, you said you were trying to come in there and warn me or whatever before that Heather was on a rampage. And then, like, Carol, like, tries to deny it. And Luann is like, don't sit here and lie to me. And, like, Carol is, like, mute. You know what I mean? Like, she doesn't say anything. I'm like, what is wrong with you, girl? Like, I don't get it. Like, she's been kind of like that since she came on the show. Just kind of, like, letting people say whatever they want to say, skirting over the issues, but then like getting in her interviews and I guess saying what's really on her mind. It's like, well, why don't you say it when the time to say it is, which is when someone is in your face saying that you did something and you know you didn't. Anyways, so that's kind of how that conversation went. I don't know. I just feel like that Heather was maybe a little jealous that there was a naked man, you know, in the room, and she didn't get any of the action. You know what I mean? Because I just don't understand why that would make her so upset. But then again, she's an uptight person, so maybe she wasn't jealous. Maybe she's just so uptight that she wasn't expecting the other ladies to get any action. You know, the single ladies or whatever, but. I don't know. So they come out. They try to get Ramona involved. Ramona tries to shut them down with apology. She's just like, look, Carol, I am so sorry that, you know what I'm saying, you're upset. I shouldn't have brought the guy home or whatever. Luann's like, yeah, you're not getting off that easily. Why did you send her my way? So Ramona says again, you know, I'm sorry. It is what it is. Can we just move on? So they decide to finally like, they didn't actually, they did. They actually decided to drop it. Luann leaves. And then somehow Heather and like Dorinda start into like some kind of conversation or whatever. Like Dorinda's just like, Heather, nobody needs you to start preaching to them anymore. And like, I guess Dorinda gets, you know what I'm saying, like, I'm just going to leave because I don't want to hear you talking about this anymore or whatever. I don't know, you guys. It was just kind of, I don't know. Like, I honestly don't know where half of their arguments come from. Like, I just don't get it. I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't get why Heather was so mad. I honestly don't. Maybe, I don't know. I don't even know. Like, I don't understand why Heather was so mad. I don't know why Ramona would blame Luann when it was her guy that was there. Luann took care of her guy. She either had him like Sonia said, either she had him hiding under the bed or she took him out and sent him home. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't get that. I don't understand why. Well, I do kind of understand Bethany being upset with Kristen for saying something negative about her in the press, because that's just bogus. Especially when you're in the same circle. You're filming a TV show together and you go off and say something negative about me in the press. So I can kind of understand that. I do feel like Bethany just doesn't respect Kristen or anything, but I think she's kind of coming around to Kristen and warming up to her a little bit. I don't know. What do you guys think about this episode? It was kind of, I guess it was just a typical New York City, Real Housewives of New York City episode, but I am so over Heather. I was over Heather the first season. She came on the show. Really, I was. I thought that she was going to be on her way out with, what's her name? Oh my God, the crazy lady. What is her friggin' name? I can't believe I can't think of her name right now. The one with the artificial leg. I cannot think of her name right now for anything. It'll come to me in a second. Anyways, so yeah, so Heather is just so annoying, and I'm not really feeling Carol either. I don't really know what she brings to the show, so maybe need to do some casting changes next year. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so that's really all I have to say about the Real Housewives of New York City. Nothing really dramatic. Nothing really big happened. Just a lot of dramatics for no reason. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. I'm looking forward to next episode, like I said. And until then, stay real, stay safe, and stay tuned to Mika Chanel Is Just Saying. Bye-bye.